Okay. This week's Parsha is Parshas BaMidbar. It starts the fourth book of the Chumash, also called Numbers, and it deals with the census taking of the children of Israel. It's not a census of the general population. Basically, it's draft registration for the 12 tribes. It's everyone who's over 20. It specifically says that Yitzat Sava, meaning those that will go into the army. Separately, there is a count taken of the Levim. The Levim are the sacred tribe. They're engaged in temple service, basically taking apart the Mishkan and putting it back together during the travels. When the temple is built, they will be the guard keepers and the singers. Okay, and included in the Levim are the priests who are going to offer sacrifices, as well as being the teachers of the nation. Okay. The Levim are counted first from 1 month old, basically from the time that someone can survive, and until the day they die. There is a second count according to their ages from 30 to 50. They are deferred from military service, specifically the war to conquer the land of Canaan. Okay. So a number of objections can be raised. The first one is that military service is dangerous. Why shouldn't they participate in the danger? And what you see in the parsha is an aspect of death connected to temple service, that the two sons of Aharon perished when they offered unauthorized incense. In addition to that, the death of the firstborn, who the Levim are coming to replace, is mentioned. Basically, it's talking about the death of the firstborn of Egypt, but the firstborn became sanctified on that, meaning that the idea of being a priest and a leader has its risks. And the Levim are assuming these risks. In addition to that, you have the story of Kahat, whose job was to transport the most sacred articles, the Aharon, which is the Ark of the Covenant, the trunk which contained the two tablets on which were written the Ten Commandments, other things. They are one of the clans, Beit Avot, in the tribe of Levi. It says specifically that they should not be cut off, meaning that they shouldn't perish from the children of Israel, because to touch one of these articles in the wrong way can be fatal, as happened with one of David HaMelech's men when he was transporting the Ark of the Covenant to Jerusalem after it had been captured and returned by the Plishtim. So there is a degree of risk and hazard involved with temple service. However, one can say also that the conquest of Israel is very important. Therefore, they should take part in it too. Every man is needed. In fact, if every man is needed, they would take part. In fact, the Kohanim led the rebellion against the Misyavnim, the Greeks and their sympathizers, during the story of Hanukkah. However, the idea is that even for as important a task as conquering the land of Israel, that temple service is more important. The idea is that a person may mourn, a person certainly would mourn if a simple soldier falls. However, if a tzaddik and a chacham falls, it's much more tragic. The whole nation mourns over that very greatly. The idea of temple service is basically to learn how to live life, okay? How to be a truthful individual, how to be a kind individual, how to be a wise individual, what really is beauty, what really is status, what really works. This is what the Kohanim are engaged in the Levium. So as a result, you need really a national emergency that is pressing and present before you would actually tell them that they should participate in actually firing bows and arrows and digging trenches and that type of thing. The Haftorah, which is connected to the Parsha, concludes that in the end of days, people will no longer say Baal, which means husband, but it also means master. Rather, it'll say my man. And it says that that the Jewish people who have gone astray, that Hashem will speak to them kindly to them and tenderly to them to bring them back, to give them a gate of hope. This is one of the ways he talks to them is through the Torah and the people who learn it. It concludes that on that day he will make a covenant that the beasts of the field and the creeping things on the ground, meaning things that are dangerous, will no longer attack, and he will abolish the bow and the sword and war from the land, and that people will dwell in safely. It concludes that I will betroth you to varastically la'olam, forever, okay, and that he will betroth us in tzedek v'mishpat, righteousness and justice, in kindness and mercy, and it will also be in faithfulness, and in this way people will know Hashem.